GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered.
And that's MVS and Justin Watson.
With some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues.
If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up.
Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow,
comma, semicolon, period, next sentence.
to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
And Jay.
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good is he? Let's get it, GMGP. It is Feel Good Friday. It is Freaky Friday, and if you want to have something up, do that on this Friday as well. We got college football Saturday, week 3, the NFL on Sunday. We got to talk a little Thursday night football, and you see it on the back of the screen there. You got to trust it, baby. Trinity dropped yesterday on DDFFB. Glad everybody is in the building. I see you, Jimbo. I see you, Nick. Tyler, Walter, what's popping with you? Leo, Anthony in the building. Joe, what's happening with you? Marlon, MV Prof, rolling with Johnny. We got Big T in the building. Luke, Mr. Gute. I don't know how to say that. Jacob's in the building. Dro, Travis, Washington in the building. Man, we got the crew in the building today. We got to talk some ball. We got to talk Thursday night football. And Tua was okay until he wasn't okay. Josh Allen had 3 touchdowns. James Cook, Jay Rich, we're gonna have to do a little would you rather James Cook edition because he's playing like the best damn running back in football. But excited for the show today. We're gonna talk through some of the games that we think are gonna be high scoring affairs, big time matchups on the NFL slate this weekend. And yes, the college stock report for this weekend, that will drop today. Jay, I think I'm going to go live today. I think I'm going to just go live at like noon today and just do it. Vibe, I think. We'll see, but it will come out today. How you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. It was a surprisingly entertaining game last night, so that was good for us. Thursday night footballs can be a bit of a drag sometimes, but ended up being a pretty good game. You know, the Dolphins did everything they could to stay in that one, and ultimately the Bills ended up winning. But more excited for this weekend. We got some really good matchups. We got the Rams and Eagles, which should be a lot of fun. And of course, you know, I'm super excited for that Cowboys-Bears game, praying for a 60, 70, 80-point bonanza. But really excited for this weekend, man. And yeah, for everyone who didn't watch the Trinity video, I dropped it yesterday on DDFFB, and it was fantastic yet again with you and Scott.
Yeah, man, we do a good job on that one. I appreciate you. And those of y'all who are like, oh, where's it at? What's it look like? Here's the thumbnail for it. So you got to trust it. Go to DDFFB. It looks just like this. Just like this. Check out the Trinity report. Week 2, before we get into week 3, check that out on DDFFB. It is live and public for all of you. And subscribe to the podcast feed. If you guys can't catch a show live, I know sometimes it's difficult to be here bright and early in the morning. You can't catch the show live. Search Wake Up with Ray and Jay, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitch, wherever you get your podcasts at. Make sure you show some love and support over there. And then there's stuff that may drop on the pod feed that we don't do live on the show. So make sure you are locked in for that, Jay Rich. But without further ado, do you want to get into the Thursday night game, or is there any relevant injury news that we need to discuss, Jay?
I mean, the biggest thing really is whether or not Brock Purdy plays, right? That's kind of what we're waiting for right now. 2 limited practices so far. That's obviously a big impact in this game against Arizona, big divisional matchup. People thinking Mac Jones may play in the contest. But after 2 practices and kind of what we heard initially from Brock Purdy, do you think he's going to give it a go in this game?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think we have to wait more for reports as to whether Purdy's going to play.
Whether Purdy plays or not, I'm starting the same people, so it really doesn't matter. I'm starting Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to start Ricky Pearsall. So whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy, I'm starting both of those guys. Like those are the 2 I'm starting. I'm not starting that tight end. I'm not starting any other pass catching weapon there. It's Ricky, it's Christian McCaffrey, and then that's pretty much it. If you had to dart throw a Mac Jones or into your lineup in Superflex, I'm fine with that too this week. Not worried about the Arizona Cardinals. So let's talk Buffalo though. Let's talk Buffalo. Miami, the Bills win 31-21. Like you said, surprisingly entertaining game, even though there wasn't like a ton of yards, especially on the Miami side. And I know people are like, Tua was not okay, but I thought he played all right for a stretch of the game, Jay Rich. I thought he was all right for a stretch of the game. Tua 22 for 34, 146, 2 touchdowns. Most importantly, he got the guys that you sort of wanted to get involved. Tyreek Hill led the team, 10 targets, 5 for 49. He scored a ton. Jalen Waddle got one on an easy slant. Trey White couldn't cover him. He was 5 for 39 in this matchup. So the big offensive yard explosions have not happened yet. We have not gotten any big yardage games out of Tyreek or Waddle, even though Tyreek went over 100 last week, 109. The really interesting thing was the running back split, right? Devon Achane and Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon played early and often in this one and looked pretty damn good. Jay, he scored a rushing touchdown on the goal line, 9 for 38. Achane, 12 for 62. And then the pick hurt. I don't know what Tua was looking at. He telegraphed his read to Jalen Waddle. Cornerback broke on it. Or the line. I mean, it was just very easy interception to kind of ice the game for the Dolphins, who now fall to 0-3. What were your thoughts on the Miami side? How you feeling about those guys?
I mean, I think it's fine, right? We have to be a little bit concerned about the conservative play calling, but I think the way that Tua's looked so far, McDaniel probably played it the way he should against the Buffalo Bills team that we know is very explosive. You need to control the ball against them. And let's be honest, through 3 quarters, they were in this game. Like, they really were. Even though the scoreline was a 10-point game in the end and they couldn't quite get it done, it was very close. It was tied at halftime. They were down 1 score through 3 quarters. Like, going into the 4th, you thought, man, they're really hanging around. They got 2 stops against the Bills. It should have been 3, but obviously there was the roughing the punter call that kind of iced the game in some respects. The Bills went down and scored, went up 28-21, and then Tua threw the pick shortly after that. But yeah, on the Miami side, I think McDaniel did the best he could with a quarterback who's been really struggling. Now, do you want a bit more down the field? Of course, but you'll take 7 receptions from Devon Achane, even if it's only for 29 yards. Now, I think the backfield split is more concerning, and I do want your thoughts on that, because Achane did get 12 carries to Ollie Gordon's 9. Achane looked more explosive at times, but he also got stuffed a little bit as well, and I think you saw just how effective Ollie Gordon can be in that short yardage, and obviously he scored the touchdown on top of that. So how do you feel about that backfield now? And do you think it will only progress more in Ollie's favor going forward?
Progress more in Ollie's favor? No. I think what we saw was he could be a part of his backfield, though. It's good to see him get opportunity outside of 4th quarter. They're getting their shit kicked in, and they just pull all the starters. It was good to see him play within the flow of the offense. What does that do for Achane? Nothing. I mean, the man has 9 targets, 7 receptions. Like you said, even though it was not a lot of yardage, the fact that you got 7 points off of catches or 3.5 and half PPR, like, I'm taking that every day of the week, combined with what he's going to be able to do explosively from the backfield. They need 2 guys. It cannot rely just on Achane. So how do I feel about it moving forward? Achane is still the man, but it was good to see Ollie Gordon get involved in the backfield offensively. On the other side of the ball, Josh Allen was once again efficient. He just didn't have to do a ton, even though the game was tied going, at halftime. Even though Miami, again, I see some people in the chat saying they played their best game of the season. I thought they played fine in this matchup. Like, for all the expectations, I think Buffalo was favored. Or were they favored by 7.5 points in this game?
11.5, 12.5.
11.5,
so they didn't
12
cover
and a
this
half.
game.
And it came at the end, right? Like, Miami was competitive, but Josh Allen didn't have to put on the Superman cape because he's got a really good running mate in James Cook, who right now is playing outstanding football. And I know he's got a leg up on the week 3 running back. So yes, he leads the NFL in rushing, but we've got a whole week to go. But he's looked incredible, Jay. He's playing like a top 5 running back in the NFL right now. And while a lot of people thought the touchdown regression, there's no way he could score that many touchdowns, he's getting a shit ton of opportunities in this offense, both in the receiving game and the backfield. There's no other running threat outside of Josh Allen, which he hasn't run as much as I thought he might run to start the season. So big takeaway from the Buffalo side of the ball. I told people to be mindful of the Keon Coleman usage. I told people after week 1, 85% of his production came in the 4th quarter when they were in scramble mode. He's been god-awful the 2 weeks after that. Dalton Kincaid stepped up in a big way last night, but it's still just it's Russian roulette at the receiver position. The most consistent options that you feel good in Buffalo moving forward, it's James Cook, it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, so I did want to ask you about Kincaid, because the funny thing about that game, for those who did watch it, he should have had 3 touchdowns in that game, like pretty easily. Stopped at the one, which ultimately became, I think, either James Cook or the Jackson Hawes touchdown. I think it was the James Cook touchdown.
Yeah.
Then obviously there was a touchdown in the far right corner of the end zone that he dropped, even though it was a pretty good play by the defender, and then he scored the touchdown himself. Do you think that Dalton Kincaid is fairly startable going forward now? Because after watching this game, you don't necessarily know who to start at receiver, but if there was a guy, it'd be Khalil Shakir over Keon Coleman. But how do you feel about a player like Dalton Kincaid? We kind of dogged him early. I was the main contributor in that. But like, even compared to a player like TJ Hawkinson, would you rather start TJ Hawkinson or Dalton Kincaid?
It's not even, I don't want no damn TJ Hawkinson. No, thank you.
Right?
No, thank you.
And then how about him compared to Jake Ferguson?
I like Jake Ferg.
Probably cool.
I like
Probably
Jake Ferg.
close though, right?
I like Jake Ferg. I think Jake Ferg is a little more, I can consistently bank on that. I like Jake Ferg.
How about him compared to a Brenton Strange?
Oh, it's not even close. I don't want
Really?
Brenton Strange. Yeah, I would take Dalton Kincaid, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because then it's like, would you take him over Sam Laporta?
No. Probably not.
Probably not, right?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah. Because then it's like, would you take him over Fannin? I think it's close, because Fannon's been good, but has he been better than Kincaid? I don't know. It's probably been about the same. Him versus Pitts is relatively about the same, especially with Mooney back. I'd probably rather have Kincaid in that respect. Like, he's been pretty good, and I think there was a lot more potential than we saw just from the stat line, right? And so I wanted to kind of bring that up. But yeah, the story here is really James Cook, and like, how high should we value him, and how high would you rank him going forward?
Well, let's play the game. Right now, rest of the season, would you rather James Cook or Josh Jacobs?
I would probably rather have James Cook.
Rest of season, James Cook or Travis Etienne?
I'd probably rather have James Cook.
Rest of season, James Cook or Christian McCaffrey?
Got to be Christian McCaffrey.
Why does it have to be Christian McCaffrey? He's averaging
I
3.
think he'll catch more passes.
He's averaging 3.5 an attempt right now. 3.5 an attempt. James Cook's damn near got double the rushing yards, and I know he's got one extra game on him. Offensively, I think this Buffalo Bills offense is a little better than what San Francisco's offense is right now. Are you sure it's got to be Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah, I'll lean on Christian McCaffrey catching 7 passes a game.
Rest of season, would you rather Saquon Barkley or James Cook?
That's tougher because Saquon does not catch any passes. So you're asking me, who do I think is going to be the more prolific rusher throughout this season? And based off a couple games, it seems like the answer is James Cook, but I will take Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, everyone will just take it because the name is Saquon Barkley for sure. I don't think there's really, I mean, I could throw other names out there. Would you rather have James Cook or Bucky Irving?
Probably James Cook.
And it's everyone's keeps saying, oh, it's because CMC is going to touch the ball twice as much as James Cook. I don't know about that. I mean, James Cook's touched the ball 53 times on the season. Christian McCaffrey's got 35 attempts, like just from the backfield. I mean, he's dominating.
Yeah, but James Cook only
backfields.
has 9 receptions, and Christian McCaffrey had that week 1. Right?
I get
That's
Yeah.
the difference.
Yeah, I get it. Fredo's saying Cook over McCaffrey, Cook over Barkley, Cook borderline top 5 back. I think that's the big takeaway is how good Cook has been. MV Prof said, give me Bijan, Saquon, James Cook, rest of way. And we're in
Would you
week
take
3.
Cook
We're in
or
week 3.
Taylor? Cook or
Loving
Taylor
JT.
is very similar.
It's similar.
profiles, right?
It's similar. I think I would take Jonathan Taylor, but James Cook, I think the big thing is this dude's top 5, at least going into week 3, feels like you got a top 5 back right now, rest away, going into week 3. I don't think that's too wild to say that. He's been outstanding.
No,
and this offense is good. He's playing well. 82 yards, rushing yards over expectation right now. 0.38 rushing EPA. He's been awesome. 232 yards after contact as well. 7 10-plus yard runs for James Cook, which currently leads the NFL, and he almost ripped a couple of those last night. He's been outstanding. But yeah, JT is the man. Gibbs or Cook? You'd probably still take Gibbs.
Yeah, I'd still take Gibbs, I think. I'd still take Gibbs. But let's be real. Like, Cook has a much larger hold on that backfield than Gibbs does because Monty's still going to be a thing. He's always going to be a thing.
Yeah. Well, let's go to a game where I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair this week and just talk through your thoughts about this matchup, these teams, who to play, how we feeling, the vibes going into week 3. Dallas and Chicago, Jay Rich. Dallas versus Chicago. This is a game with a 50.5-point total. Dallas is favored by 1.5 points on the road against the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams and company, DeAndre Swift. We know how bad the Dallas defense has played so far on this young season. Talk about this game and the fantasy goodness that could be inside of the Cowboys-Bears matchup this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, start just about everyone. You know, we debated last week over whether we'd start George Pickens against the Giants. He obviously did actually deliver on that. The Bears are a much better matchup. I mean, you look to just how strong the Lions played against the Bears and even what happened in the fourth quarter for the Vikings against the Bears. You can run on the Bears, you can pass on the Bears, you can do pretty much whatever you want. And so I still love Javonte Williams in this game. I'm curious to see how DeAndre Swift plays on the other side because I think the Dallas rush defense has actually been pretty strong to start the season. You're obviously starting CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens. You'll probably start Jake Ferguson as well. But how do you feel about a player like DJ Moore in this contest? Kind of, we know we're starting Rome Odunze. You're probably starting
How
DeAndre
do you
Swift.
feel? I asked you how do you feel about him? How do you feel about him?
He's a player I go back and forth on because I do think this game could be a 60-point game. And if that's the case, I'd be willing to take a shot on DJ Moore. The issue for him really is the lack of manufactured touches. And I think that's where I struggle so much with this Ben Johnson offense is when you even go back to Detroit. There's only one player you really wanted to start, and it was Amon-Ra St. Brown because he gets manufactured touches, especially in the red zone, and you see that continue to go on throughout this year. You don't have the Jameson Williams speed with DJ Moore, and that's where Jameson Williams makes his money, is down the field, deep shots, getting wide open with his speed. So where does DJ Moore fit into the startable range when he's not getting manufactured touches and he doesn't have that deep speed ability, even though this contest projects as a very high-scoring affair? And at the end of the day, I still have to trust Caleb Williams to get it done. I think DJ Moore is startable in this game, but there's not going to be many more game environments where he's this startable, in my opinion. I still think there's some players I'd probably still take over him. But how do you feel about DJ Moore?
Well, I think this game, let me just, because we're talking about the game, I think this is a fruitful game, and it's an environment in which a lot of players can thrive. Dallas's defense is awful. It's the 30th ranked defense against pass efficiency. They can't stop the run. They're just not a very good defense. They play a lot of zone defense, no man. Rome Odunze is the guy, but if you're saying that the game could be 60-point affair, then yeah, I think you need to be starting quite a few players from this game, and that extends a lot further than just Rome Odunze. I feel a hell of a lot more confident in DJ Moore than I do any of the Bears tight ends. If I had to prioritize Bears pass catchers or offensive weapons in this one, it would go Rome Odunze, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, notwithstanding the quarterback position. I don't want to start either tight end and play that game between Cole Kmet or Colston Loveland. I see people in the chat, they need to start Burden. Well, it ain't happening. Like, it's not going to be Luther Burden, not right now. So I feel great about Rome Odunze, as I felt all offseason. I feel great about DeAndre Swift. Talked about him on Monday being one of those veteran backs who has just been really good. One of those veteran running backs that people don't like that's been really good. It's a bad defense. These are two bad defenses. The Bears defense just got a 50-burger put on them, and the Cowboys defense let Russell Wilson just put on a gold jacket and walk into the Hall of Fame after throwing for 450 damn yards on a defense that couldn't stop anybody. So, yeah, I feel fine. I wrote in the Yahoo article that dropped yesterday, I think this is a get-right game for the Chicago Bears offensive players. I think this is one where they can get it going. This team is scared to play man coverage. It's going to be zone. Can Caleb recognize that, fit the ball into those windows? I'm pretty much firing up all of them, all of the Bears, outside of the tight ends and Luther Burden.
Yeah, and that's where, it's can we trust Caleb to actually deliver, put up 300, 350? We know that Odunze is going to get his pretty much no matter what. I mean, he's already got 3 touchdowns on the season in 2 weeks. He'll probably score again this week because Ben has continued to manufacture touches for him in the red zone and draw up great plays that are layups for Caleb to score touchdowns. But even with that, Caleb in catch-up mode does scare me a little bit. Like, is he going to make mistakes? Is he going to run around back there? And can he actually deliver for all of his pass catchers? Because up to this point, he's really only supported one player. And we're waiting to see can he actually support 2 weapons? Which in today's NFL offenses really isn't asking a whole lot. But he's yet to do that because when he runs for 40 yards or 50 yards because he's running around back there, it just takes away from potential from all those other players. And I'm curious to see that split backfield between Swift and Monangai because I believe going into this week, the Bears are number 1 in yards before contact running the football, but it hasn't quite translated to yardage for DeAndre Swift, mainly because he's not the best runner of the football. But I do think it will be good against this Cowboys defense that really isn't that strong, but I'm curious to see how that running game plays. Who would you rather start in this contest, Dak Prescott or Caleb Williams?
Dak. Give me Dak.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, give me Dak. I'd rather start Dak in this one. I would start Dak. Dak has been awesome through 2 weeks. He was outstanding versus Philadelphia, and then he put on another masterclass versus the Giants. I don't think this Chicago defense is very good. And the Cowboys offense is consolidated. You know exactly what you're getting. And, a lot of people are saying that Swift is banged up, so DJ Moore maybe running back attempts. Cool. I want them to play Luther Burden to see him get on the field. But do I think he's a real fantasy asset right now? Somebody that I would encourage people to start? Hell to the no. Hopefully he just gets on the field, gets integrated into the offense, and as we progress through the season, he gets some more running opportunity because I do believe that was the point of drafting him where they did, to replace DJ Moore, whom, had you paid attention all offseason, like the coach has constantly been throwing little jabs at DJ Moore. Effort, running through the routes. We're going to play you running back. Like the writing
practice comment.
The writing is on the wall to some degree for Moore, but it's probably going to take a little bit of time for Burden to get up to speed. But if you're talking about a team that's about to fall to 0-3, what more do they have to lose? If they go down 0-3, you might as well get your young guys out there to see what you got, start getting ready for 2026 because this division is tough, and I don't know how easy the Bears' schedule gets after this game. But let's move on to another matchup this weekend, Jay Rich, one that I'm looking forward to. The afternoon slate, the Denver Broncos travel to Los Angeles to face the Chargers in this matchup, and there's been a lot of chatter on social media about this passing offense for Los Angeles, how disappointed people are in Ladd McConkey, how unbelievable and unsustainable the production for Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston is, and how piss poor Omarion Hampton has been running the football. Now you got an AFC West battle. Broncos 1-1, Chargers 2-0. Chargers could actually they could take a nice lead in the division, sweeping the damn division.
Clean sweep, yeah.
Clean sweep. I know it's early, but this is kind of a big deal. If you go ahead and make quick work of your division, at least the first matchup of your division opponents this early, it's got to instill some really good confidence. 46.5 point total in this one. Chargers are favored by 2.5 in this one at home. Jay Rich, what say you about Bo Nix, the Broncos? We've got some Troy Franklin. We've got some QJ, year 3 receivers, year 2 breakouts. How we feeling about this one, man?
Yeah, Denver is really tough, especially offensively right now, because even Bo Nix isn't really a startable quarterback. He played pretty well against Indy, but especially against Tennessee, man, this kid really struggled. 4 touchdowns, 3 picks, completing, 60% of his passes. J.K. Dobbins has looked okay. We want to see some more R.J. Harvey. And then more importantly, the pass-catching weapons, you just have no idea who's getting the football. Like, you can't have a game where Cortland Sutton is sort of the guy against Tennessee to where he does absolutely nothing in the second game against Indy. They take him completely out. And Troy Franklin, who is now the leading receiver for the Denver Broncos, had a massive game in that contest. So it's like polar opposites of what you expect of the Chargers. You know who's getting the ball in LA. The only thing you don't know is how many carries Hampton's going to get and how many carries Najee Harris is going to get. But you know the pass catchers are getting the ball, the big 3 receivers. They're very similar in terms of receptions, targets, and even yardage. It's just the touchdowns haven't come for Ladd McConkey. So you shouldn't be overly surprised. You shouldn't be overly scared. It's just whether or not they come, we'll have to wait and see on that. But all the usage and everything else we've seen is very, very encouraging. But I kind of don't think this is going to be a good game for Denver. I do think that the Chargers are going to start 3-0. I think they're going to struggle.
No Khalil Mack. No Khalil Mack. And he was good. He was good in week one, and he was playing well.
Khalil Mack will matter.
Yeah.
But the bigger concern for me coming into this season was the secondary. And I think the secondary has actually been pretty well for the Chargers to start the season. And especially against a Denver Broncos team that has struggled a little bit. It's just whether or not they can be balanced enough rushing and passing the football. That will determine, I think, how the Chargers play them. But I'm much more concerned about their ability to stop the pass than necessarily rush the passer. Because I do think they can contain Bo Nix. And that's their ultimate goal. Whenever you play Bo Nix, you do want to try and sack him. But he's still going to be able to run away. So it's more about containing him on the outsides than anything else. And I think they're going to be able to do that fairly easily. And then it's on him to make the throws. But how do you feel about this Denver offense? Do you think they can finally, play at the performance we kind of expect? And I don't believe Evan Ingram's going to play in this game. I don't think he's practiced yet this week.
Chargers pass defense is really good. It's very good. So this Denver Broncos passing offense, not so good to start the season. Get right, divisional opponent. Like this should be a good game. I don't think it's going to be bad for the weapons, because we only want Bo Nix to throw the ball to two guys anyway, and that's Troy Franklin and Courtland Sutton. So I'm not really concerned about that. If the Chargers offense is going to continue to roll, it's going to put Denver in a pressure situation where they're going to have to throw the football. I think for me, I want to see how the split looks at the running backs, both sides. J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, Najee Harris, and Omarion Hampton. And I see people in the chat saying, I don't feel good about Hampton this week. I don't blame you. Long term, he'll get it together. But right now, you can't feel good about the way he's been playing. And hell, you can't feel good about starting R.J. Harvey. These coaches are saying they're going to play more, do this, do that, and the shit don't happen. So you can't feel good about either of those rookie running backs and what looks to be a difficult matchup.
Yeah, so which of the three receivers on the Chargers do you think has the best game in this contest? Call your shot.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I think you start all three, like honestly, because people are going to do that. I think you start all three. The volume is there. They want to throw the ball. They're tops in the league in neutral pass rate. They don't have a strong running game right now, and they've had their foot on the gas. They're throwing the ball on first down at a ridiculous clip. That's the indication of a team that wants to push the ball downfield, pick up chunk plays. They're not going out there and trying to pick up 2-3 yards on first down, play action on first down, come out the gate swinging. So regardless of which one has the better game, I don't want to play that game. I'm starting all three. If I have Ladd McConkey, I'm starting him. If I've got Quinton Johnson, I'm starting him. If I've got Keenan Allen, I'm starting him. I'm starting all three, and I'm living with the results. Justin Herbert has played incredible to start the season. So which one has the better game? I don't know. Maybe it's Ladd. Maybe it's QJ. Could be Keenan Allen. But I'm starting all three because the volume will be there for all three of those guys. I truly trust that and believe what we've seen so far this season. You just play all three and you live with the results.
Okay. All right. So then how do you feel about the Denver offense then? Because it's the exact opposite for Denver.
I would start Troy Franklin. I would start Courtland Sutton. And then I would start J.K. Dobbins.
Not great.
And start J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you could start J.K. Dobbins. His volume hasn't been high, but it's been consistent. It's been there. He's been the guy touching the ball in the backfield.
Right?
That's what I mean.
4-6 a carry, touchdown in each week.
Each week, you're fine with that.
He's kind of touchdown or bust, which is what he is at this stage. And do you buy into the revenge narrative, Ray? Because we didn't even bring up a revenge game for J.K. Dobbins.
He wasn't in.
Kicked him out, man.
He wasn't in L.A. long enough to really have the revenge narrative. And then there was a comment here from Red Eye Jedi. Dak was quote unquote awesome week one, and he laughs. That lets me know that you did not watch anything besides the box score. If you think Dak was bad in week one, then all you did was wake up after week one, look at the box score, see the end of the results, and then just laugh. That lets me know that
that's the difference between fantasy and reality. And that's why I brought it up with Dak, right? Because Javonte has 3 rushing touchdowns. And those could easily be Dak passing touchdowns. They're just not. And that's just not the way it's
I don't even care about that. But I mean, Jake Ferguson dropped the ball, CeeDee Lamb dropped 3, and then you don't think Dak Prescott played well. That just lets me know you just looked at the box score. Not a clue of what you're talking about. Jay Rich, where you want to go next?
Ooh.
Where do you want to go? Is JD5 going to play this week? Is JD5 going to
He
play
has yet
this
to
week?
practice. Hasn't practiced yet, so we're on red alert right now for JD5.
We're going Philly. We're going Philly, LA. We're going Philly, LA.
Okay,
The
we'll go to that
Rams
game.
travel to Philadelphia. 44.5 point total. Philly favored by 3.5 at home.
You picked the Rams in this game, right?
I did pick the Rams. On Bleacher Report, I did pick the Rams. It's interesting the total so low. I figured this one would be a little bit higher than what it is, 44.5. The Rams offense looked to have gotten it going last week. Philly's still getting there. I put out in my article on Yahoo, I wouldn't start any of the Philly pass catchers. I would not start A.J. Brown this week. I'm not starting Devontae Smith. I'm just good. I'm going to let them take a week to figure it out. Give me some names I would plug in before either of those two receivers. I'm not touching them this week. If A.J. Brown goes apeshit, great. I'll feel better about starting him in week 4. Not playing that game this week. I'm not starting A.J. Brown. I'm not starting Devontae Smith this week.
Okay, so I want to ask you about that then, because you're not starting them this week. But so what is it do you think that you could see this week from a player like A.J. Brown that would give you actual confidence to start him next week?
You said, what do I need to see? I need to see him throw the ball. I just need to see them. He doesn't have to go for $150 and 3 touchdowns, Jay Rich. I just need to see him get targeted.
Because he had, what, 8 targets against Kansas City?
I need to see
You still
it.
ain't starting him.
I'm not doing it. Are you doing it?
So I think the problem for me with A.J. Brown right now is like you said, this Philly offense is frankly disgusting.
Ugh.
And this is a player that had 8 targets last week, 5 receptions, 27 yards. We talked about that on Monday. But even if he had another, let's say, 9 targets, 6 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown, what is it that would make you feel confident about starting him the following week? Because then that's just he's had 1 good week and 2 absolute stinkers of a week so far. So it's like this game for me is all dependent on Saquon Barkley. I need to know this week if Saquon Barkley's still a top 5 running back. Like that for me is the big X factor.
Saquon's been good this year. He hasn't had the monster.
Are you joking?
He
Saquon Barkley's been good this year. He was what was he drafted as, the RB1?
Yeah, he was drafted. I didn't say he's been RB1, but he hasn't been god awful. He scored every week, right? He scored back-to-back weeks.
He has 140 yards.
He got
so he's averaging about 75.
I get it. He got 22 carries last week. You can't ask for more opportunity. Has it translated to the high-end result? Not yet, but he hasn't been awful to start this. He has not been awful to start the season.
No. But I think the problem is that when he's not playing at his best, it doesn't force the defense to come down and stop him to open things up for the receivers, right? So we've seen a player in Saquon Barkley who's been pretty good. Like you said, he's playing kind of like Josh Jacobs right now. And I like to get on Josh Jacobs because, well, yes, he's a good running back. He's a bit of a plotter. In both games, he hasn't averaged over 4 yards a carry in either contest. Now, again, that's against Dallas, who did play against him pretty well, and then Kansas City, one of the number 1 rush defenses in the NFL. We'll see how the Rams play him because obviously he had 200 yards against the Rams in both those games. So for me, it's not necessarily about A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Can Saquon Barkley really get going in this game to where it can open things up for everyone else? I think that's the key for me in this contest.
Barkley's been fine, man. I think he's been fine, Jay. I think he's been fine.
I'm not saying he's been bad, but Ray, has the offensive line been good? And I think the answer is not really. Not the Eagles that we're used to seeing.
They've started
right?
Offensively. They start. Well, it's hard when you can't throw the goddamn ball. Everything it's tough right now. I think they're figuring out.
But the passing game works off the rushing attack, and when the rushing attack isn't as dominant as it was, and the offensive line isn't as dominant as it was,
that's one way of thinking about it. It could be the reverse.
Okay.
The rushing attack thrives because the passing game is so good, and people are scared. The point is there's a missing element right now. There's no threat of the pass. There's no threat that Jalen Hurts is going to slice you with his arm. So it just makes everything a little more difficult. There's some.
So is this the game
let's
that
go.
they get
Let's
right?
go. AJ Brown. Let's talk because that's what people want to know. I saw one right here. Are you starting A.J. Brown or Jordan Mason versus the Cincinnati Bengals this week?
I'm starting Jordan Mason. He's the only running back in town.
A.J. Brown or Breece Hall this week, and the Jets play Tampa Bay?
Probably A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown, I'm looking in the chat. A.J. Brown or Alvin Kamara this week? Who the Saints play?
I'll start Alvin Kamara.
Who the Saints play this week?
Seattle on the road.
Saints play Seattle on the road. seeing if there are any other ones. A.J. Brown or Keenan Allen this week?
I'd start Keenan Allen.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm looking through the chat to see if there are any other.
Brees is the only one that's tough because he's
Ricky
a
Pearsall.
running back,
Ricky Pearsall or A.J. Brown?
Brock Purdy or Mac Jones doesn't really change a whole lot for me.
No, not for me either.
I think it's A.J. Brown. I think I just want to believe in A.J. Brown more than I want to believe Pearsall's going to have a good game.
A.J. Brown or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Oh, God. A.J. Brown.
I'm telling you right now.
Are you starting Marv this week?
I'm not. I don't know how clearer I can make this. I'm not starting A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith this week. I'm not doing it.
I would start Smitty, I think, over A.J. Brown.
I'm not starting either of their asses this week. Not this week. I hope and pray they ball out and they figure out this passing attack. I hope on Sunday morning, before we get through the first quarter, people are back under this video commenting they got it done. But I'm going to let y'all do that. I'm going to let y'all have the fun. I'm not starting them. I'm not doing it, Jay Rich. I'm not doing it this week.
A.J. Brown or T. Higgins?
T. Higgins. I'm not doing it. Not this week. I can't.
Yeah.
We've done it for 2 weeks, and I'm not going to just keep jamming them out there for them not to throw the damn ball. Not doing it this week.
Okay.
And especially,
so how do you feel about the Rams then?
Especially if the Rams are 3.5-point dogs on the road. They're 3.5-point dogs. We got a 44.5-point total. So if they're not going to be able to throw, and this defense is supposed to be this menacing force, Philly's going to do what they've been doing. Let's just try to run the damn ball. Let's run the ball, get the dub. They're 3.5-point favorites. On the other side of the ball, I think the Rams is pretty clear. You're starting your two receivers, Puka Nacua, averaging 7 catches and 90 yards on the season. Devontae Adams, the number 2 to Puka Nacua's number 1, but he got involved last week. Kyron Williams, no fear there, not touching the tight ends. There's no other receiver. Matt Stafford, outside of Superflex League. I'm not starting him this week versus Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of simple.
Usual suspects, and I would find another quarterback over Stafford if I can.
Right, absolutely. And they said the NFL is going to watch that tush push this week. They said they're going to.
They did, yeah. There was a memo put out, yeah.
They are starting early, so watch it this week. Cincy, Minnesota. Let's talk about it. Cincy, Minnesota. I think this one, from the Bengals side, the Vikings are favored by 3 at home. And I picked Cincinnati.
So much stock in the Vikings, man.
I picked Cincinnati. On BR, I picked Cincinnati to win this game. I don't think Jake Browning is great, but he's got familiarity with these receivers, for better or worse. Burrow's missed time. I'm not worried about Jamar. I am worried about Flores a little bit. I am worried that Brian Flores will cause some problems. But you know what Jake Browning is? He's playing carefree, because he won't be the starter for this team. So F it, man. Hey, there are a lot of people out there, go trade for this player. They're rolling out Jake Browning. And this is his time to live, baby. Get the ball to Uno. Get the ball to Chase. Chase Brown is kind of running the ball. I think Cincinnati's going to put up points. I'm not as concerned about this offense this week. Let Jake Browning rip it. Minnesota's going to be down an offensive lineman. They're going to be down Aaron Jones. They're down their starting quarterback. Carson Wentz. Is he starting? Is that where we're at? Wentz is starting this week?
Yeah, if JJ is not expected to go, right, with the high ankle sprain, and Wentz is supposed to start this contest, it's really just, right, the funny part is right, this over-under is what it is. It's 41, 42. And I think a lot of people think this game could be higher scoring than that. But I think the funny part for me is that it's not going to be higher scoring because the offense is scoring. It's because these guys are throwing picks left and right.
Oh, it's
like Jake Browning in that first game threw 3 interceptions, and he came in relief. So he's almost at the top of NFL boards in interceptions. He didn't even play week 1.
YOLO
and he
Browning.
came in relief in week 2, which again, for us in fantasy is fine as long as you're not starting Jake Browning. But it's definitely concerning in some respects because it all depends on how does Carson Wentz play. If Carson Wentz plays as bad as Jake Browning, then you probably get a couple picks, you probably get a couple short fields, and you probably have lots of opportunity for touchdowns. But man, the only player I think I'm most concerned about in this game is Chase Brown because he's been so inefficient.
He's probably gonna get he's got to get opportunity.
He will get his opportunity.
He got to get opportunity.
He's the only guy there.
He's got to get
the only
opportunity.
guy there, and he'll catch some passes as well. But I'm starting Chase. I'm starting Higgins. I'll start Brown probably, and at least as a flex.
Yes, you're starting Chase Brown. Yes.
How do you feel about Jefferson though? Do you think he can play better or worse than he played with JJ McCarthy? Because 125 receiving yards so far on the season, only 7 receptions. Is that right? Wow.
Jay,
but he did score a touchdown.
Jay, how do I feel about Jefferson? Yeah. Fine.
You asked me if I think he could be a top 10 wide receiver on Monday.
I didn't ask you that.
You did.
I did?
You did. You we were talking about Jefferson, and you asked me where do I think he finishes on the season because JJ's obviously struggling. And you said to the he point should for sure be a top 10 receiver.
I'm starting him.
You're starting him.
Doesn't matter how I feel.
But he's still Justin Jefferson. So there's still that name cachet that you could trade him for somebody if you wanted. So is that a move you would at least consider based off what you expect out of the Vikings passing attack this season? That's what I'm asking you about.
Trade him for who?
George Pickens.
No.
Okay. Wow, bold.
Give me another one. I mean,
would you trade him for McMillan?
Just trade Jefferson for Tetero and McMillan.
Straight up.
No.
Wow, you like yourself some Justin Jefferson. Okay. All right.
No.
I hope that Wentz can get a better Jefferson than what we've seen so far. But I definitely have concerns about him with JJ. He's not been good with JJ. He just hasn't.
Well, JJ hasn't been good. So how's he going to be good if JJ's not good? JJ hasn't been good.
Look, man, a lot of quarterbacks are bad, and they still can do better than we've seen from Jefferson and McCarthy so far.
Joe, don't do it.
This is a top 3 receiver.
Joe, I see you in the comments. I need something to feel good about playing Andrews this week. Joe, don't do it, Joe. Joe, don't do it. Don't do it, Joe. I'd find somebody else to put in that lineup over that Andrews. I wouldn't do it.
I don't get how everyone thinks that like Jefferson's just going to be great this season. And I'm the one that's like crazy for saying, well, maybe he's not going to be that good.
You just said what I tried him straight up for McMillan, and I just said no.
You.
No, I said no. I didn't. I know. I just answered and I said no.
And that's fine.
I just said no.
It's for me. It's just like the situation really doesn't look that good, and no one's really talking about it.
Would you try? Okay, here's a better one. Justin Jefferson for Rome Odunze and Jordan Mason.
Who's doing that trade?
Well,
if you can find somebody to take your Justin Jefferson for Jordan Mason and Rome Odunze, be my guest. But no one's doing that. Come on.
Wait a minute.
That's a smash accept trade. Everyone's doing that trade.
Tucker Kraft is out. That's confirmed. He's out.
Oh, is he ruled out? Literally yesterday there was reports that
Joe
he's
said
going to be okay.
Tucker Kraft is out. Is he out?
I had thought he was going to be okay. I didn't see he was ruled out.
I didn't see that he was out. I need answers to this. I got him in a couple of lineups. I need answers.
I do as well.
Keegan's on your side. Someone's got to ask the question, Drake. He completely agrees with you to move that Jefferson for George Pickens. You and Keegan.
So yesterday, from Schefter, Packers standout tight end Tucker Kraft, who injured his left knee at Thursday's practice, got a little scared, but all good. One source said after test today. Another source added, I think he will be okay. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to play in this game, but maybe he's just not. I haven't seen him ruled out, though.
Okay, yeah. I don't think she's just preparing for the worst. She said, Kraft is hurt. I'm prepping for the worst. Okay. Not confirmed. Not official. I feel you, Joe. I do the same thing, man. This dude ain't gonna play. Let me find another option just in case I wake up Sunday morning
Jack
and damn.
Tonges available? Jake Tonges?
It was the other guy. It was Luke Fackrell or somebody like that scored the touchdown. It wasn't Tondres. It was somebody else. No, but I feel you, Joe. Joe is just preparing for the worst. Totally get it. And ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, let's go to break. Hit the like button. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you're watching this on replay, stop. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Comment below. We'll be back with more NFL stuff after the break. Let's go. What's poppin'? Welcome back. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on the channel. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, like, comment, subscribe. Check out all the dope stuff on this channel. DDFFB, Trust the Trinity, that dropped yesterday. Scott Connor and I talking all things usage from the wide receiver and tight end positions. Make sure you're a member over there so you can get that information earlier than others, and subscribe to the podcast feed. If you're not able to watch live, we're here early in the morning, a little too tired, got to get into work. You can check it out on replay on the podcast feed. And once again, show some love, subscribe to the channel, support what we're doing. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. But Jay, let's move on to let's just get this one out of the way. The Sunday Night Football game. Who set this up, man? Kansas City.
NBC, baby.
Traveling to New York to face the Giants. This is a battle of two 0-2 teams. The Chiefs are 0-2. The Giants are 0-2. Somebody's got to walk out of here with a dub. Somebody's got to walk out with a dub. Jay, let me look at the spread on this one. This is...
I see 6.5.
I got 6. I got 6 points. Philly 6 point. I mean, Kansas City 6-point favorites on the road.
So what do you think, Ray?
Man.
Can the Giants get it done?
Can the Giants pull an upset in this one, Jay Rich? Do you think there's a world? Is there a world? Now, is Worthy back? Is he? I saw a report yesterday he's playing with a fully torn labrum. Ain't no doubt about it. The shoulder is shredded, and he's going to go out there and play. Reeks of desperation for Kansas City right now. They've got no running game. Travis Kelce looks washed. Defensively, this is still a very good football team. But offensively, I do not trust Tyquan Thornton. I do not trust Hollywood Brown. I do not trust Juju Smith-Schuster. I do not trust Nico Remigio. I don't trust it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. Do I think they can pull the upset? The answer is absolutely. And do you know why, Ray? Because they have the NFL passing leader with 618 yards in Russell Wilson playing quarterback for the New York Football Giants. They have the best wide receiver on the field in Malik Neighbors. But can this rushing attack get going against Kansas City Chiefs is the number one question. I think the answer is unfortunately no. But on the other side of things, can the Chiefs rushing attack get going with Isaiah Pacheco? I think the answer is also no.
No.
And so the question really is, can Patrick Mahomes do enough to beat Russell Wilson, the Giants? And do we get a pass rush from the Giants that is able to knock Mahomes off his spot enough and knock him down so he's not rushing for 123 yards, which is currently what he's at on the entire season? But I do think they have a shot to win this game. 6 points, it's a lot for a team that doesn't put up a lot of points in the Chiefs. If I was taking the spread, I'd take the Giants. But even if Worthy plays, like...
Are you playing him? Boyan wants to know.
I'm not playing him.
You're not playing Worthy?
I'm not playing. No.
Really?
No. I can't. If he can't raise his arms above his head, I can't play him.
I think he was at practice doing it with no brace. I'm almost positive he was... Jay, I'm not... I hear you, but I think he was practicing without the brace. He's catching shit. He's not just dragging his arm anymore.
But even if he is, like, this is a dude that got injured because his own player hit him.
I know. Well, come on, man. Like, it's not just like he just hit him. It was a rough, whether it's his own player.
But I'm saying it wasn't an intentional hit. And he still, like, basically tore his shoulder.
How the hit occurred.
So what happens if someone actually hits him in the shoulder?
Jay, hold on. Dude, it doesn't matter who hit him. The force exhibited on the hit, it doesn't matter if it came from his own team or the defense, you still hit, right?
But what happens when he actually gets hit, though?
He just got, when he gets hit, that is the question, but who hit him and how the hit occurred is irrelevant when you're on the field. A hit is a hit, whether it's from your own team or a hit of that force and degree, doesn't matter how it happened, right? Your question about what happens when he lands on the shoulder is fine, but who hit him and how he got hurt is irrelevant. Like, it's a hit. You're on the football field.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that he was hit by someone who's on his team. What happens when someone actually tries to hit him? For real. He's probably going to go out. Like, is this enough time to where he's actually recovered and isn't going to be a liability if you start him? I think that's the problem, is that if he gets hit too hard, he could be out of this game right away. Because this is an injury that's supposed to be multi-week. Like, no one thought he'd be back for a few weeks, and he's back already?
I feel the same way. And I just wonder is or was the Twitter doctors and all the people who said he's going to miss. Who was right, who was wrong? Either Kansas City is desperate and they're throwing him out there knowing he's one hit away. Maybe he's not as hurt as we think, right? We don't fucking know. Maybe he's not as hurt. Yes, it is concerning that because he will be hit. And I'm not worried about car crash, Madden, you just got jacked up style of plays. That's not what I'm concerned about. I'm just a regular old catch on a slant and then he falls down on his shoulder. Like that probably has not happened in practice. Nobody has hit him in practice. Nobody's fallen on him in practice. I do think it's a valid concern, but if he's on the field, he won't be out there as a decoy. They're going to throw him the football. So they announced that Worthy is full go and he is in the lineup against a Giants defense that's been awful. Like just look at what just happened last week against this Giants defense. Dak Prescott threw for 360. Pickens scored. Ferg balled out. CeeDee Lamb had over 100. If Worthy is active, I'm probably going to play him. If here's my thing, Jay.
I think it depends on what your options are.
You know what? I wanted him to play all goddamn season. If he's going to go out after 4 catches, I'm getting him 4 catches. You're playing. I'm putting you in the lineup. As Denzel said, I'm leaving with something. I'm leaving this season with something. I'm not going to miss out on the 5 for 102 and a touchdown and he gets hurt at. I'm playing him. If they say he's active, I'm starting Xavier Worthy, Jay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm quite there. I'm fine with him being on my bench, and if he has a great game, he has a great game, but I just think the downside is just not really worth it. Because if he gives you 1 point or 2 points, because like you're saying he's not going to be a decoy, but like he could absolutely be a decoy. He's one of the fastest players in the NFL. He's probably one of the best decoys in the NFL.
They're 0-2. So he ain't no decoy. They're 0-2. He's not a decoy.
I hear you, but if they need Xavier Worthy to be the guy to beat the Giants, guess where they're not going? To the playoffs. Because they're a terrible team.
Maybe not.
So I don't believe that they would risk the potential for re-injury and what could be an entire season for Xavier Worthy to beat the Giants, personally. I just don't think that makes a lot of sense. If they didn't risk it against the Eagles in a game that they probably should have tried to win, why would you risk it against the Giants?
Because he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready to go. He needed a week. He needed some rehab.
We think he needed the week, but we don't know how much time he needs. We don't know how severe it is. Just because he's active this week, we think, oh, yeah, he just needed an extra week. But I don't know that. And until I kind of see him on the field and how he looks, how he responds to contact, I think that's the real assessment as to where he's at, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. If he's playing, if he's playing, I'm going to start him. I'm going to start him, Jay Rich. And I'll just.
That's fine.
I'll live with the results, man. I'll live with the results. Pacheco, no thank you?
No. I really don't want to start him, man.
No.
He's been awful.
Kelsey, no thank you?
I'd start him because he's Kelsey, and that's about it. Not giving you any analysis, no real reasoning for it. He's Travis Kelsey. He can give you 4 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown.
He's a tight end, and you need a body, right?
He is probably a top 12 tight end. And so I'll probably start him.
Go get that Rashee Rice. Go get that Rashee Rice. Just try to go get him. Yeah, people are saying hell to the no when it comes to Isaiah Pacheco. I do not disagree. Tennessee. Colts, Titans. Daniel Jones. Let's just get this one out of the way. Must start this week? Yes or no?
Not for me, no. Not a must start.
Wow. Okay.
Not a must start, no. I have.
Give me 12. Give me 12 quarterbacks you would play over Daniel Jones this week. And Tennessee's pass defense is. I mean, he's not must start. So give me 12 quarterbacks because this.
Okay, give me. Can I count Jaden Daniels?
Sure. I'll let you count JD5.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Drake May, Patrick Mahomes, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, Caleb Williams, Dak Prescott. Kyler Murray is tough, and I would start Matthew Stafford over Daniel Jones.
You would start Stafford at Philadelphia over Daniel Jones.
I would, yeah. Stafford played great against Philadelphia.
Okay.
Right, so that's where, again, he's very close for me.
Were you just looking at the matchups and just naming quarterbacks?
No, I was going down KTC actually, but the reason why I bring this up, and it's not that I think the Colts are going to lose, but I do think Tennessee's defense is a lot better than people realize. Like, it actually is a pretty strong defense, and it might confuse Daniel Jones. Because you look at what happened week 1. They actually did play very good defense against Bo Nix. And Bo Nix did struggle, but I would argue that Tennessee's defense actually played better against Bo Nix than the Colts defense did. Like, I would actually argue that. I think the Tennessee defense did play pretty well. Now, again, in the second half against the Rams, they didn't play overly well, but in the first half, it was a very competitive game, and they played very strong. But if you're not the level of quarterback that Matthew Stafford is, and you're more of the Daniel Jones variety, I do think there is a world where disaster happens in Tennessee on the road in his first road start for the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts offense has been very strong, and Jonathan Taylor is phenomenal, and of course, I'm starting him. He's a great running back. But if Daniel Jones didn't light it up this week, I wouldn't be surprised either, because I do think this Tennessee defense is pretty good.
He's been pretty good so far.
He's been very good.
He's been pretty good so far. But it is the first road game. They're favored by 4.5 on the road. 43.5 point total in this one. Titans rushing defense, rushing efficiency 32nd in the NFL, dead last.
Terrible. They're terrible.
Pressure rate 27th in the NFL, not good. And, I mean, quietly, you start looking at the pieces of this Colts offense, Jay. They got a top 5. I'm being conservative. They got a top 5 runner, right? They've got let's just say top 8 tight end, the way that Tyler Warren's playing. I'm being conservative. And as far as the receivers, the collection of them between Downs, Pittman, Alec Pierce, little Adnan Mitchell just getting down the field, I think they have an average to above average wide receiver room. I don't think that Shane Steichen has put Daniel Jones in this position to have to play hero, where he's got to do a lot, where he's got to make these incredible downfield throws into triple coverage. When you have the threat of a running game, of a running back who can carry the rock 20 plus times and pick up over 100 yards, that does make things easier. They've got the tight end, and I don't think that Tennessee's offense is explosive enough to put true pressure on Indianapolis. Even on the road.
That's why it may not be like great, right? Because you look even to Stafford last week. Stafford was good, but he wasn't great, right? He wasn't, I don't even know if he hit top 12 overall. And that's where, like, even with Jones has been great, but I think in the same way that Dak has been great to start the year, if Dak had a rushing touchdown in weeks 1 and 2, you'd be like, oh, Dak's been a great quarterback. He's been great for fantasy. You got to start him every week. But that's what's happening with Daniel Jones. He's been very good. He's been completing 72% of his passes. He's been distributing to his weapons. But as you mentioned, if Tennessee poses no threat, why can't JT just run the ball like crazy and they hardly even use Daniel Jones?
I think we're a little too like, it's the NFL. They're not going to hardly use Daniel Jones. Like, I'm saying.
I'm not saying that. But if he throws for 202 touchdowns, is that top 12? Probably not.
Probably.
Depends how much he runs, right? It depends how much he runs.
It's probably up there. It's probably, I mean, you got
quarterbacks
throwing for 100 yards, man. If he throws for 200,
some of them, yes.
If he throws for 202, he's probably up there. And he is going to run.
But everyone I named can do that. And I didn't mention Jared Goff. I didn't mention Trevor Lawrence, right? Like, they can all do that. Didn't mention Michael Penix playing against the Carolina Panthers. Right? So it's again, it depends on what you're looking for. If you think the Colts are going to roll the Titans in this game and maybe Cam Ward makes some mistakes in this game that create some short fields, then maybe you can get that really high-end Daniel Jones game where he doesn't do a lot.
So you got Daniel Jones at like QB 20 this week. QB 20?
No. I'm just saying he's not a must start. If he finishes at 16, 15, 14, you're fine starting him, but he's not a must start. Right? There's some really good matchups as well. Like, we didn't bring up Penix. Penix is playing Carolina. People were saying, how can you play May over Jones? It's like, well, because May's playing the Steelers and they gave up 30 points a game. Right? So it's like, it's the signs are there to other quarterbacks. And I'd be curious to see how Cam Ward plays in this game, because I thought he took a step up from week 1 to week 2. And I'm curious to see how he plays against this Colts defense. I think, we've seen something from Alec Eilmanor that's been positive. Maybe we see something out of Ridley this week. And God, maybe we see something out of the rushing attack with Tony Pollard, but I'm not expecting that at all.
Tony Pollard was fine. Tony Pollard had almost 100 rushing yards last week. And he had like 20 plus attempts. He did. Did he not?
Efficient. He did. He's been very inefficient.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, but Tony Pollard is not the issue. Like, Tony Pollard's not the problem in that offense. Where do you want to go, Jay? I kind of want to talk. Justin Fields is out. So let's go ahead and let's get that out of the way. Justin Fields already ruled out with a concussion, so he will not play. The Jets are 7-point dogs on the road against Tampa Bay, who's down another offensive lineman. I think their guard, Cody Mach, is out for the season. Man, that's rough. It's tough for Bake, man. 43.5-point total in this one. Jets travel to Tampa Bay. Todd Bowles against his former team, right? Todd Bowles was once a coach of the Jets. Little revenge here. Jets are 0-2. Bucks are 2-0. Tyrod Taylor's got the start. Does that make you any more confident in Garrett Wilson? I can't even name any other receivers.
I think it makes me confident he's going to get targets, right? Because Tyrod will get him the ball. How successful they'll be is another conversation, but I do think this game is probably going to be a little bit lower scoring, honestly. Like Baker, a little bit banged up as well, right? We know that he had a bit of an injury designation coming into this game. It's the Jets, so they're not expecting a lot offensively from them. We'll see how their defense plays.
Yeah.
I think the Bucs will play strong defensively and just kind of survive this game. But I'm not expecting a lot from either side. It's just, I think you start Garrett Wilson because he'll probably get, his
I'm good with
7-8 targets.
Yeah, I'm good with Wilson.
I don't mind Tyrod, honestly, because he's not going to run the ball. So more potential passing opportunities for that offense. So we'll see. But yeah, I'd start Garrett Wilson. But Breece Hall is kind of where I struggle. Like, I don't know how you feel about Breece against this Bucs front. They've been up and down at times throughout the year. They played really, really well against Bijan and Atlanta, but they didn't play very, very well last week. So I'm curious to see how people feel about Breece, but I don't want to start him if I don't have to, but he's probably a flex option for sure.
I like Breece. Tyrod's a vet. I think Garrett Wilson will be okay with Tyrod Taylor. Luke is saying Tyrod or Stafford. Jay Rich has got Stafford inside his top 12, so that's Stafford. It's Stafford. Tyrod can run. He can run a little bit, but we're talking about year 13 Tyrod. I don't know.
Yeah, Luke. He was a runner back in his heyday, but
back at Virginia Tech when I used to play with him on old NCAA 06, he was outstanding running the football. The Tampa Bay side of the ball, Igbuka, Mike Evans due for a big day. I know Igbuka was a little bit banged up, but from everything that I've heard, it's nothing to be concerned about. He'll be on the field playing. You got Bucky Irving, who looked awesome in the game versus Houston. He looked really, really good, especially in that when they're trying to drive the ball down the field at the end. He was just getting those dump offs, bouncing off of tackles. You're rocking with all your Bucks in this one, right?
I'm fine with Evans. Igbuka is still a big question mark for me. Like, this guy is living off the touchdowns. If you're fine with that, then cool. But if you're not, then find someone who can get some volume.
Would you not play him though? Would you? You got to play him, right? You would bench him this week.
He doesn't even have 100 yards on the season. He had 4 targets last week for 29 yards, and he scored.
Calvin Ridley or Igbuka?
Ooh, I'd take Ridley there. If you're guaranteeing me 8 targets,
Keyshawn Butte and your Drake May. Keyshawn Butte or Igbuka?
No Butte. No guaranteed of targets. No guarantee of targets. If you're guaranteeing me targets, I will take the volume over the touchdown.
Nico Collins in Jacksonville or Igbuka?
Nico.
Garrett Wilson or Igbuka?
That's close, but I'd probably take Igbuka.
Philly wide receivers or Igbuka?
Igbuka.
QJ or Emeka?
I'd probably play QJ.
DJ Moore or Igbuka?
I think you probably should play DJ Moore just because of the game environment, but I wouldn't say I'm confident in that at all.
Pearsall or Igbuka?
Probably Igbuka.
Okay.
Do you think that's wrong to say? Like, he's a bit touchdown dependent right now, and we haven't quite seen the volume.
He's on the field and he's playing. I mean, he dropped the pass too on Monday night, so it would have looked even a little better. I'm still this is actually a really good one. Brent says Wan'Dale Robinson or Emeka Igbuka this week.
Probably Igbuka because I just don't know what I'm getting from Wan'Dale.
You don't know what you're getting
last week.
You don't know what you're getting from Wan'Dale. Wan'Dale's been awesome.
Yeah, he's been very good. But are you buying into that for the whole year, like going forward?
Yeah, it's only him. It's only him and Neighbors.
Igbuka.
I think Wan'Dale's one of the sneakier starts every single week. I mean, It's a
That's
very
a good shout then.
consolidated. It's a very consolidated passing attack. It's Malik Neighbors. It's Wan'Dale Robinson. Look at the trend. There's nobody else.
Yeah.
Is Andrew Thomas back for New York? Just curious. Is Andrew Thomas playing? I feel like Andrew Thomas ain't played in 2 years. Where's the left tackle at? Where's the left tackle at?
Who knows?
Not
it
where-
will go right down to the wire, according to the New York Post 12 hours ago. So maybe. Maybe.
Igbuka overall.
Some people are expecting him to play, though.
Igbuka or Brees Hall, Jay Rich?
Brees Hall.
Man, you do not. Igbuka or Quinchon Judkins at home versus the Packers.
Ooh. I guess Ibuka, but that's tough.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the Green Bay Cleveland game, because I think a lot of people are cautiously excited about the potential of Quinchon Judkins in this offense. 61 yards. If you didn't see the run where he was rumbling, he looked good, looked explosive, looked physical. It's matchup versus Green Bay. You know,
Doesn't seem good, though.
doesn't seem good, but the Browns are at home. They're 8.5-point dogs at home. 41.5-point projected total in this game. Keep the ball away from Jordan Love. What's the best way to keep the ball out of Love's hands? What's the best way? Run it.
Strong running game.
Strong running game. Run that Quinchon. You think it happens this week? I was a little cautious on both he and Cam Scatterbull. I talked about him in the Rookie Report article that I dropped yesterday. I like both of those guys moving forward. I think they're both going to command some significant opportunity in their offensive backfields, but a little bit nervous about them this week. And I think everybody, I was talking about this last night in voice chat. If you want to be a part of a dope community, come on. Patreon.com/allgas. Get in the community over on Patreon. We got Dynasty Tiers from JB and Dynasty Theory. Shane's dropping stuff. Scott Connor's doing stuff in there. But I feel like we're at this point now with this rookie running back class where we desperately want somebody to be the guy so bad. And we're like, okay, It hasn't been Genty through 2 games. It hasn't been Hampton through 2 games. It hasn't been Harvey. It has not been Henderson. It's not going to be Caleb. Please, God, let it be Quinchon Judkins. Are we out over our skis a little bit on Judkins, despite the fact that he looks good, despite the fact that he probably should be the lead back? Is this just a byproduct of us like wanting this to happen more so than the reality that it's here and it's going to happen right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Because
we want
this
it to
is
happen.
A game,
we want this.
You
to
want
happen.
it to happen so bad. And what's funny, Ray, is like, okay, he played his first game and he's already the Browns' leading rusher. But here's the problem. Both these teams are number 1 and number 3 in defensive yardage allowed per game. And both of these defenses are number 1 and number 2 in rushing yards allowed per game. Right? The Cleveland Browns are allowing 45.5 rushing yards per game, and the Green Bay Packers are allowing 48.5. They held the Detroit Lions to 2.1 yards per carry in week 1, and I don't know what they did to the Commanders in week 2, but that just tells you how strong these defenses are. It's not that I don't think Judkins could have a good game, but he is playing arguably the hardest matchup in the NFL, if not for the fact that he plays on the Browns. Right, which is the hardest matchup currently in the NFL. We saw what they did against the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were awful in that game, especially running the football. And we saw what happened last week against the Ravens with Derrick Henry. Why would we feel confident in starting either of the running backs on either side? You're probably going to, especially Jacobs. But I definitely have some concerns about people thinking that there's going to be a lot of points in this game, because both these defenses to start the year have been so strong. It could just be an ugly game that Green Bay wins like 20-7.
Yeah, this is... Henry had 25 yards. Yeah, Gabriel said the legendary rookie RB class. Dill said wish casting. Said we're wish cast, and that's why I'm asking the question: are we wish casting Judkins like 1 week too early? Who do they play next week? Who do the Browns play next week?
Detroit. Detroit's about middle of the pack, 100 yards a game. Yeah. That's what separates the middle of the pack from the class of the league. It's 50 yards allowed per game on the ground to 100.
Curtis Martin, fan for life, 28. Curtis Martin, one of the more underrated running backs in NFL. If you just want to look at some, we talk about bell cows today and who's a bell cow. Go Go pull up Curtis Martin's career stats and look at how many damn carries and receptions he got for years upon years and years in a row. And nobody ever throws his name out there as one of the best running backs. But he said, we can't say this rookie RB class is bad 2 weeks into the season. So just framing, right? Maybe we can't say definitively that the class is bad 2 weeks into the season, but I can say that after 2 weeks, so far, this class has been bad. I'm not saying they're going to be bad for the rest of the way, but 2 weeks into the season, you can't say it's been good. Like, it has been bad 2 weeks into the season. That doesn't mean that they're going to be bad the rest of the way. Ron Stewart, shout out to Ron Stewart, man. He put out a tweet the other day that's been copied by a lot of people. But basically it showed notable day 1 and day 2 running backs and how shitty they were the first 2 weeks of the season versus what they were weeks 3 and beyond. Alvin Kamara, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson. I think Zeke Elliott was the leader, and it was like 13.5 points per game through the first 2 games. And then after that, it was just a list of notable day 1, day 2 running backs, how bad they were their first 2 weeks versus how outstanding they were weeks 3 and beyond. So no, Jay nor I will say this class is bad. But I can say that so far, based on where you drafted Genty, Harvey, Hampton, Henderson, Johnson, Judkins, they have been bad for us for fantasy.
Yeah, when Bill Krosky-Merritt and Cam Scadaboo are leading rookie rushers right now, they're fine running backs, but they're not the guys that we pegged and drafted and wanted to be the guys coming into this season.
Correct. I don't know about no EBS Stewart, man. IBS Stewart. Stewart's good, man. He's good to us. He came on our draft stream this year, man. Shout out to Ron. But Alex is saying definitely a week early for Judkins. I like Judkins, man. I like Judkins a lot. Tough matchup versus the Packers. I'm mildly interested in this one. I think we might see Flacco get benched again if he gets.
Ooh,
they're
really?
0-2. They're 0-2, man.
But it's the Packers, though. Like, do you really want to throw Dylan Gabriel against the Packers? I guess they did against.
Do you think
Ravens,
they care? Do you think they
them.
care? Do you think they give it?
Maybe
do
they
you
don't.
think they care? Do you even think they care? Do you even think they
Probably
care?
not.
Yeah, Curtis Martin, very, very good. Those, again, just people don't. We can go into old running backs. We buy in Johnson, like Caleb Johnson. Are we buying him? Probably not. Yeah, Boyan said just went and peeped them Curtis Martin stats, and he said, "Wow, unreal." Yeah, they don't make them like they used to, Boyan. They don't make them like they used to. Jay, let's hit one more game. I think an intriguing one offensively. Let's call the shot here. Jacksonville. Jacksonville.
Did you just say intriguing offensively, and you said Jacksonville?
Yeah, because we want to see how the hell Travis Hunter is going to be used this week. We want to see Bajal Tootin split with Travis Etienne. Those are things that people want to see. It is intriguing. You got an 0-2 Houston Texans team where offensively it looks like the sky is falling, Chicken Little style. It does not look good right now. The offensive line is a mess. They don't have a running game. Christian Kirk might be back this week. Defensively, this team is pretty damn good. And then on the Jacksonville side of the ball, T-Law is going to launch that bitch 40 times. You know he is. He's going to complete 50% of them. Yep. BTJ, we need the rebound. Travis Hunter, we need the usage. The running game, you want Etienne and Tootin to keep it going. Brenton Strange, sleeper tight end. Yeah, I think this is an intriguing matchup for the Jacksonville Jaguars at home versus an AFC South divisional opponent.
So I do agree a little bit, right? You want to see how the players are utilized. Now, the question for me to you is, do you think that Houston can put up enough points to where it forces Jacksonville to also put up points in retaliation? Because that's the biggest problem for me with this game. It's not whether or not the Jags are going to score points. They're probably going to. I believe they're in the top 10 right now in points per game with 26 points per game on the season. But Houston's sitting at 14 points per game. Now, they only allow 17, but even though they're only scoring 14 points a game, it feels like they're scoring less than that with how bad they've looked offensively. Nico Collins has done next to nothing. The wide receivers beyond him have done very little on top of that. And Nick Chubb does his thing out there, but really doesn't move the defense forward or move the offense forward the way we would hope from a rushing attack. So I'm intrigued a little bit by Travis Hunter. I think we kind of see more of the same. And my biggest fear, honestly, is we see him play a bit more defense because they simply don't need him to be on offense, and they don't need to throw the ball 30 times a game in order to beat this Houston Texans team. And that's my concern. Do you think Houston's offense can get going against this Jags defense, which really isn't that strong? What are those matchups telling you, Ray? We can't see them.
I'm reading the Texans offense. Here's a little stat, little insight. The Texans offense has allowed the 10th highest pressure rate, 39.1% through the first 2 weeks of the 25 season, continuing a similar trend from last season when they finished with the 5th highest pressure rate. CJ Stroud has been sacked 6 times under pressure, resulting in the 9th highest pressure to sack rate in the league 2 weeks in. I've said it all offseason. I'm just concerned about the front. Where's Stroud at? Where is Stroud currently points per game quarterback wise? What is?
Oh, he's awful, man. We talked about it. He's lower than JJ McCarthy. He was right on par with like Justin. He was super low down. He was way, way down there in terms of points per game. I don't even think he was a top 24 quarterback.
I think that Trevor Lawrence can give Houston a way to win the game. I think Trevor Lawrence can provide a way for Houston to win this game. But if you're asking me, I think Jacksonville wins. I don't trust Houston. I don't trust Houston, Jay. They don't have a running game. They don't have another. If you're telling me Christian Kirk is the missing piece of this offense, we got big problems. We got big problems. And he's a fine player. He's a fine player. But if that is what is ailing Houston right now, we got big problems.
Yeah, the quarterback's ahead of CJ Stroud in his 11.9 points per game. Sam Darnold, Joe Flacco, Geno Smith, Cam Ward, obviously, because he's been bad, but he's behind JJ McCarthy, behind Bo Nix, behind Michael Penix, behind Bryce Young, behind Trevor Lawrence, behind Dak Prescott. And these are guys that you will start, but you don't feel great about starting them because they haven't been very, very good. So he's in basically the unstartable range. And Ray, I have to ask you this. Who would you rather start on a week-to-week basis, CJ Stroud or Geno Smith?
Oh, dude. Stop. I don't want to start either of them, but
you'd start Geno Smith.
Geno Smith.
Yeah.
What do you do with Houston? I just don't know what you do with Houston. You're going to start Nico Collins every week, but outside of that, I'm not starting Stroud.
I think you start Nico Collins and you pray for a better day tomorrow. That's it.
I'm not starting that Nick Chubb, Jay Rich. I'm not starting that Nick Chubb. I can't do it.
Really? I think it's fine.
You think it's fine?
He hasn't been great. But he gets the bulk of the touches.
Chubb or Tootin this week?
I'd rather start Tootin.
Yeah.
I'd rather start Tootin.
I would too.
Like Chubb is in the same range as David Montgomery. And you'd start David Montgomery.
Monty? Oh, yeah. I'd start Monty. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Chubb is 10.6 points per game right now.
Okay.
He's fine. He's not great. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to start him.
That 25-yard touchdown run after he didn't do jack shit all game definitely helped
him a lot.
He was pretty bad. He was. They were booing him every time he touched the ball. It was just boo birds, boo, boo. Then he scores a touchdown. Travis Hunter, call it, Jay. Just more offense, more defense this week. What if the coaches said
definitely more?
What if the coaches?
Offense.
You think it's definitely more offense this week?
So relative to what? Because he's going to play more offense than defense, right? Like he's not going to play more defense than offense. I think we know that. But I would not be shocked if he played more defense than he's played in previous weeks. Right? Like the first week he hardly played. Last week he played a little bit more.
Hunter gets
now
a TD
he might
this
play
week.
a little bit more.
I think Travis Hunter gets a TD.
You're calling your shot, eh?
I think Hunter gets in the end zone this week.
But BTJ doesn't have a touchdown, does he? Or no, he does have the end around.
He has
the end around that saved him. He has the end around.
Houston's defense is good.
It is good.
People are saying he's not returning the number 2 overall value. We had that conversation all week. Is he going to return the value? This and that.
Think he can, right? You think he can? Is this the week?
Hunter gets in the end zone this week, Jay Rich. I'm calling it right
now.
Let's
go, Ray.
He gets in the end zone this week.
Let's go. You're calling it.
I'm calling it. Travis Hunter, he listened to me talk shit all week about not liking him play on the defensive side of the ball. He will get a TD. Yeah, Stanley's calling it with me. He will get a TD or a pick. Will he get a TD or a pick first? Touchdown. He'll get the touchdown.
It has to be a touchdown.
Zach
if he gets a pick before a touchdown,
Zach
that's a
Zach said, Ray G, man, the only way Hunter's getting in the end zone is from a pick six. Stop it, Zach. Stop,
Still
Zach.
counts for fantasy points, though.
Swim your burner account. This is 100% you. Saints and Ladarius McConkey. Olave or Lad this week?
I'd play Lad. Oof. Seattle revenge. No, Lad.
You'd play Lad? You play Lad
Seattle's
over
defense
Olave?
is too good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Colt saying Hunter pick six. Woody Marks for president. I love Woody Marks. They need to get Woody involved more, but even when Chubb was getting the boos, they did not put Woody out there to get more opportunity despite the boos. Jay Rich.
Yep.
We got to talk about your boys. Big Hendo.
Really?
Big Hendo. Big Travion Henderson. Drake May. Is sorry Pittsburgh's defense. They're on the road.
Yep.
Pittsburgh's on the road. New England at home.
Yep.
This week. Let me check the total in this game, Jay. I don't know what the odds makers have. The total
44.5.
44.5. New England.
Not bad.
1.5 point dogs at home. Do you trust Aaron Rodgers? Do you trust Rodgers? Do you trust Deke?
So
we got we got a good Rodgers week. We had a great Rodgers week 1. An awful Rodgers week 2. You have said he saved up all of his juice and power for week 1. He just saved it up to beat the Jets, and now he stinks. The people don't like you picking that Drake May as a top 10 option this week. They didn't like that, Jay Rich. So talk to us about this matchup. Does Henderson get more involved? I've got Ramondre Stevenson as kind of a sleeper running back this week versus this Pittsburgh defense has not been good. Hasn't been good.
It's really bad.
It has not been good.
It's really bad.
And they haven't gone up against offensive juggernauts. We're talking about Fields. We're talking Sam Darnold. Now this week we got Drake May.
It's not a juggernaut, that's for sure. Drake May, no juggernaut to be had here. But yeah, so do I trust Rodgers? The answer is no as a starting quarterback, but I do trust him to get the ball to DK Metcalf. That I do trust. For everything that DK Metcalf isn't, it was a revenge game for him and Seattle as well on the other side in their contest in week 2. And he was still able to find the end zone. Now, he only had 3 receptions for 20 yards, but he found the end zone. He hit 11 fantasy points. It's not great, but I will take it. And that's why you drafted DK Metcalf where you drafted him, because even when he has bad games, he's still going to be the number 1 target on the team. Now, on the other side, I think it's a lot more interesting because I think you have to start Ramondre. Like, the way that he looked in week 1 was rough. Week 2 wasn't great, but also look at how well teams ran against this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Kenneth Walker went for 100. Breece Hall went for what? Did he go for 100 or was it at least 80, 90 yards in that game?
I don't think it was 100, but he was
very good and very efficient. Justin Fields ran for a ton of yards. That's why you should also like Drake May on the other side. So the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is really bad. Now the problem is the pass catchers. Which pass catchers would you start? Would you start any
from
of them?
Pittsburgh?
And for me, it's no, from New England.
Oh, from New England.
From Pittsburgh, it's just Metcalf. Outside of that, though, but in the New England side, if this is a game where we think they could,
I would still start
so
Boutte.
You're not out on Boutte.
Nah. I mean, because you got to think, last week, none of the receivers did anything. It was Mondre led the team in receiving. Diggs had 4 for like 30, and no other receiver did anything. Boutte had 1 for 16 in the tud. It wasn't like all the work went to Pop, all the work went to Kyle Williams. Mac Hollins scored a touchdown. It's Drake May. Right, he completed 19 passes. 5 of them went to goddamn Ramondre Stevenson. So, 20% of them went to Stevenson. I would still, I think I don't feel as strong, but I'm not out on Boutte. Like after 1 week, no, he still scored a touchdown.
He's the only player I'd consider because we just haven't seen much from Diggs so far this year. He's been more of a chain mover than a dominant wide receiver in this offense. I think if there was going to be a dominant wide receiver, it seems like for now it would be Quinchon Boutte. But yeah, that's where I kind of lean with it. I like Ramondre. I want to bench Hendo if I have better options.
But you're going to start him? You're going to start him, though?
I'm starting Breece Hall over him.
Okay.
Another player that I don't feel great about, but I think you have to start Breece Hall over Travion Henderson right now. And if Henderson has a great game, then so be it. But I think there is a lot of downside with him as well, right? He did get benched in week 2 against the worst team in the NFL. He didn't really do a whole lot even in week 1. And granted, it was week 1, but I'm not expecting things to drastically change this week either. Maybe they do. But at least compared to the rookies, I'd say he's pretty far down the list of guys I expect to get more touches heading into week 3 compared to an Ashajenti and Omarion Hampton, a Quinchon Judkins, right? And even an RJ Harvey. He's much closer to RJ Harvey and kind of where I project going forward, but I'd say I'd still give the edge to RJ Harvey, but most people would probably say you have to start Henderson over Harvey right now.
Really?
Where are you at on Hendo?
Disappointed a little bit.
He just hasn't done
Just
a lot,
little
right?
bit. He just hasn't got a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, he got some run in week 1. Then they said we'd get a little more run in week 2, and he got less run in week 2. So it's honestly incomplete. NA. I feel nothing. I guess I feel the same that I felt after week 1. A little disappointed that he didn't get some more opportunity, especially versus Miami. When you see Ramondre running the wheel routes, when you see Ramondre catching the passes, when you see. Yeah, man, that sucks a little bit, but I think he could pop. I think he could. This defense. I think he could pop versus this defense. I think he can pop versus this defense. So how do I feel about him? Fine. If I have to,
he's got 8 carries, 8 receptions in 2 weeks. Not terrible.
Not great, but I just feel kind of. I just am. I'm numb. I'm just here. So
I think it sounds like it's similar to Xavier Worthy. You don't know if you want to start him, but you're starting him anyways.
Who you starting, Worthy or Henderson?
I'd start Henderson.
You want no part of that Worthy, huh?
I just don't want to risk it.
Likely's playing? Really? Larry in the chat. Is Isaiah Likely back?
Is he really? That's pretty good for Isaiah Likely.
Not
good for Andrews, though.
Yeah, not good for Andrews. All right, all right. It's 9:30. Jay Rich, hit the music. I'm just talking. It's like we're having a damn conversation.
Yesterday.
Likely practice. Yeah, Keegan, I'm with you.
And it's Monday too, so they got more time.
I'm playing Worthy, man. That's when if Worthy's active, I'm going down with the ship, Jay Rich. I'm going down with the damn ship. All right, appreciate y'all being in the building, man. Long show today. We got a lot of football this weekend. Trust the Trinity. If you were not able to check that out, that is on DDFFB. Week 3 college football watch list. Stock up, stock down. That will be out today. Recording that today. That'll be out later today for all the college football over the weekend. Big weekend for Fernando Mendoza, Jay Rich. Fernando Mendoza moving up.
This week?
Carson Beck moving up. Illinois. Carson Beck moving up. K. Klubnik out of there. No K. Klubnik. Out of there. Garrett Nussmeier. Get it together, John.
He was fine. He had a bad game, but he's fine.
I don't know, Jay. Anything you want to say for people before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Clayton Kershaw making his last start at Dodger Stadium in the regular season. Make sure you watch that. Hall of Fame, 3-time Cy Young, 1-time MVP, one of the best pitchers you will ever see with the best curveball you've ever seen. Shout out Clayton Kershaw, man. Great pitcher, Hall of Famer, first ballot, baller.
He's a very nice person too. I work with Clayton a little bit, as you know.
Oh, you told me,
yeah, pretty cool guy. Him and his wife Ellen. So shout out to Clayton Kershaw, no doubt Hall of Famer, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in this week. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the podcast feed. Enjoy college football on Saturday. Enjoy the NFL on Sunday. Wake y'all asses up with us on Monday. We out. Peace.